What's up with it, peoples, my fellow creatives, my fellow entrepreneurs? I hope y'all are excited as I am today to finally be bringing you guys the first episode of the podcast.
Number one.
If you don't know me, I go by the name DJ. I'm here with my co-host and my business partner, Lazy. And we're the Nine Media crew, man. The founders of Nine Media, and our mission here is just to create opportunities for scale for small businesses. Not just small businesses, but opportunities for scale in general, for businesses in general. Businesses, brands, politicians, popular people.
We just do a lot of small business heart projects.
Yeah. That's what we love to do. We like, because it's where we come from. I actually started a commercial cleaning company about 7 years ago or so, and it's how I was able to compete with the larger companies was through high quality media and being able to use this thing we got now called the internet to be able to stick my feet in the waters and play where I shouldn't have been able to play, which now I think that's an opportunity that we all have, and I want to be able to share all of my knowledge with everybody who follows me and everyone who follows us so that you guys can have some success too. And we hope that we can just kind of be a part of that journey for you guys, with you guys. So that is what this podcast is about. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. I had a couple topics planned. This is actually the second time we are doing this podcast. The first time we had some audio issues, and so we love you that much that we are trying it again.
Those times.
And it should be better the second time.
Always.
But yeah, so we got some stuff on the agenda today. We just wanted to basically first talk about, just participating in this thing we call media, which I think is really important.
Yeah.
Just being here and being a part of it, and some reasons why we should be doing that.
It's crazy to me when I think about that, like the people that you would think would be in that sphere of knowledge aren't.
Yeah. You'd be surprised
so
at people aren't knowledgeable about how we should be doing this. And
just because you have a social media doesn't mean you know social media.
Yeah. And even if you're good at it on your personal, it doesn't mean it can translate to business all the time. But we'll talk about that. That's one of the things we want to talk about today. We also want to talk about how some of these videos can help you on your website, and then how to take advantage of some of the free organic reach that's out there right now, and where to look and how to actually see it beyond what's going on right now. And then last but not least, TikTok's ad platform, which is doing some crazy stuff that I wanted to talk about and give you guys some tips and some tricks if you want to take advantage of one of the most underpriced advertising arbitrages that exist right now in this marketing market.
Underpriced.
Very underpriced, especially with the attention that TikTok has right now, which is crazy. But yeah, so how we feeling today, man? It is a scorcher out here in Seattle. I don't know where you guys are listening from, but here it's hot.
Yeah, you know me. I was born here, so this is too much.
Now I'm from the south. It is hot as microwave boob sweat out this piece right now.
It is insane.
Hot.
And I'm not used to it in any way, shape, or form. So my brain literally feels like it is baked like an egg inside of a kettle.
Yeah, it is not felt good today. I'm from the south, and I'm pretty much used to the heat, but this is as hot as it gets. Even though the temperature may have only said 85 or so, 86.
Yeah.
It felt like 90 to me.
It just felt easily like 1,000 degrees.
It was hot. It was a hot day. I'm glad the sun's going down now. We can actually try to do this podcast without the mics and the cameras overheating under all these lights.
It's crazy.
But speaking about being under the lights, one of the things I want to do really with this entire show is to encourage people to start documenting what you're doing in the very minimum. So even if you're not in business, if you're not trying to build a business, you may not be trying to build a big following, but I still think it's really cool that we are a part of the first generation that gets to kind of in high quality document themselves.
Yeah.
In perpetuity, and lives on the internet in perpetuity.
Oh yeah.
So that people from years from now and generations to come can kind of have a much deeper understanding of you than we have of the people of generations before us.
Yeah, we had cave paintings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had writings. They wrote a lot. They wrote a lot of words, but that's not giving you the nuances of what someone's personality was like. I'm excited that my great grandkids, if they have some inkling or wonder why they like music or wonder why they like a certain sport or something, and they're like, I wonder if there's someone in my family who used to like this, and then they find videos of me doing all of this stuff.
Before,
Yeah, 5 generations before. Like, imagine that connection that builds that connection to your heritage and to your legacy that can build for generations to come. I think just in that, it's important enough to just be documenting yourself, just because we have the ability to.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying you have to go and like show all your personal belongings and show,
No. But it's like, when you look at a photograph from 20 years ago.
It gives you that feeling.
Great grandma, and she was 16, and just had met your grandpa, and they got their first photograph, and like you get to see that. It makes you feel connected with them, even though you may never have even met your grandparents.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's dope. So on a more touchy feely side, that it's just good. It's just good to do. It's good to have, and even if you don't put it out, you can put it out on private. And in case of the unfortunate, untimely demise of anybody, maybe that becomes found, and you would have no idea what joy that would bring to people you leave behind. Even in the immediate, screw hundreds of years down the line.
That's why I have such a hard time deleting things.
Right, I get that. Like, I'm starting
so
to have that now.
difficult.
I'm like, I don't want to delete. It's some captured moment. We've captured a moment. But now, thanks to the internet, most of that stuff can live on the internet forever. If,
Big facts.
Via these
they've made
platforms.
storage free, almost. Like,
I mean, you
it
kind
costs a
of
couple
participate
of bucks,
in
but
these platforms if you want to, but you don't gotta pay YouTube anything to have your videos stay on YouTube forever.
exactly. Yeah, you could just post them up, and they're just there in perpetuity.
Yep. You can have them private. You can have them in the public. Have people interact with them or what have you. But I think that's a really dope thing that we have that we're the first generation of, and to we are like this is going to be what's looked up when they're thinking about how it was when people first started documenting themselves. It was us. It was our generation running around with our cell phones pointed at us, and that turned into now, which is bringing me into my next point, is media, participating in media in a way that cuts out the middleman, in a way that cuts out, it's no longer the corporations that control the flow of goods and services. Now it can be a lot more me to you. It can be a lot more you to your, direct to consumer is a whole thing right now. If you haven't heard, you can create your own brand, you can develop your own following, and you can sell your products. Hell, you don't even have to have a product these days. You can sell your thoughts. You can sell a course. That's and it's crazy. I like this.
It's
as a teenager, I didn't think stuff like this was possible because it wasn't. You had to get a loan. You had to
an old man
beg, borrow, and steal.
told me when I was a kid that computers will run the world one day, and I was like, well, how is that possible? It's a little box with electronics and firing electricity back and
and
forth.
he was so right.
Yeah, and he's like, no, you'll be able
Under
to
the
do
spell.
things you can't imagine a computer could let you do, and now you literally do what it took whole villages of people to go hunt buffalo or whatever to get food.
Now I can get a floaty pink flamingo in 24 hours from Amazon.
Straight up, I could flick of a wrist, and I got a whole fucking cow's worth of meat in my hand, and I can gorge myself.
Yeah, it's a crazy growth scale. Technology is nuts. If you ain't paying attention, you'll definitely get left behind.
And that's why you need to participate, because you won't know what you're going to be getting left behind in if you aren't in the stream of consciousness.
Which brings me to, if you are a business, so if you are actually trying to build a brand, if you are actually trying to do something, if you're actually trying to, like, say, step away from a 9-to-5 or call yourself being an artist or anything of that nature, of that mindset, and you should be, right now you already know that you should be posting online, you should be participating on these platforms, whether if you're B2B, LinkedIn, or Snapchat, or TikTok or Facebook, you should be creating content for these platforms, and a lot of people just aren't. And even if they are, they're going about it in a weird way where you're kind of, it's your personal account, you're afraid to go and start over with a business account. That you can't be afraid to start over with a new account, because for one, you shouldn't be selling to your friends and family. That's not a sustainable business model.
No.
So you need to create targeted audience. Audiences built around built around your brand, around what you offer, your service, your industry. You need to build that community. You need to have people need to have a reason to be following, just you. Have a reason to spend money with you, to buy from you. They need to have a reason, and that comes from you putting out content on these platforms, and you're able to build trust and get a good reputation, show off your knowledge, show off what you know, and let people know that you know what you're doing, and that'll allow them to open up their wallets and give you money for whatever it is that you provide or whatever service it is that you do. It is the new way of doing business. If you just think of how anything gets purchased nowadays, it's at some point someone's going to go online and look something up. And if you are good at being present online, then you can show up where the actual attention is. You don't need to be in a TV spot or a Super Bowl ad to build a big business or to make a huge brand. You can make a big splash in just your local market, especially if you do it right. If you build targeted audiences, especially localized targeted audiences, these don't cost a lot of money in terms of ads if you do it right, if you're paying attention to how to do it, and you do these, if you work with a reputable company. These are reachable things. It just takes you actually creating the content and taking the time to create something for other people that brings value to other people, and it'll give them a reason to follow you, and then build trust and build that reputation with them, and then spend money with you. So you definitely need to be participating in media. If you are, whatever it is that you do, you are that / a media company. So just start there. If you are a hairstylist, you have to be a hairstylist / a media company, because no one's going to know what you do if you're not putting it out there that you do it. So you need to be putting it out there. It doesn't always have to be super high quality. Sometimes it's more appropriate to use a cell phone, right? I think you were just saying something about sometimes it's more appropriate, like you don't want to use a camera, a real camera at all.
Most of it depends on the platform. Every platform is designed specifically for a certain type of metadata to enter it. That's the best way I can explain it in layman's terms. The systems expect a certain type of metadata, and depending on what you're doing and the type of platform and
what your purpose
is, then the end goal result is gonna mean how and what you would film and create the content that you're going to do. And that's why in today you can do it with your iPhone. You can do it with a $30,000 cinema camera. Those things live in the same world because they work for specific
purposes.
There's a little different tools in your Swiss Army knife.
And they're tools, so which means you have to get good with them. So
or find someone like us.
Or find someone who's good with them.
That does it for you and helps you out, keeps you moving.
Yeah. So so it doesn't always have to look super polished, but there's a time and place for everything. There's a time when you actually want to put your best foot forward and show that you actually care about your business, and show that you actually are willing to invest in your business. And that doesn't have to be extremely expensive, but sometimes it does call for you to have high quality media, like high quality pictures, high quality videos. In certain platforms, that is what's required. So let me see what else we got going on here today. But yeah, anything works if it's professionally executed. So it doesn't have to be professionally done, but if you execute it professionally, it'll pretty much always work. If you know what you're doing behind the scenes of these platforms, and you're paying attention to the nuances of the languages and how you act on each one, and how each one is different, and the language differences on each one of them, then the better you'll do. So let's see. Next on the agenda for today would be, speaking of participating in media, if you have no idea where to start and you haven't even started making videos for your website, or you haven't separated your personal from your business yet, and you're kind of wondering where to start with all this media stuff and where to start with all this video creation and content creation, we have a guide for you. It doesn't have to be that daunting. It's in the link down below, right in the description or the show notes, depending on where you guys are watching this. It's the 10 videos that your business needs to be creating. 10 10 businesses that a lot of these videos you'll be able to repurpose and use for other things, but these 10 should definitely already exist. There's some like overview videos of your business, whether they're one-to-one videos for potential clients and things like that. Those are all on that list. So go download the free guide. It's absolutely free. It's just in the link. You just give us you type in your email, you hit download, and then boom, you have it.
Make sure you get it, because it's like having Batman always has his mainstay stuff in his utility belt, right?
Yep.
This is your mainstay utility belt.
Yeah, I still use it to this day. Anytime I'm like not sure what to record for the day, I can refer to that list
over to it
and see, I could do one of these. I can do a thought leadership video, because we need a thought leadership video for whatever funnel we're building for that day or whatever initiative is being pushed. So yeah, go get the free download. It's an incredible thing to just kind of have and be able to pull back up on if you ever need to. So our gift to you, because we love you. But yeah, moving on. Video, another way that video helps. I just spoke about having videos on your website. If I know a lot of people they may put a video in your little banner area. I've seen those look really cool. Those do help a bit. They give a user something to watch. But even more useful is an actual video that people click on and watch. I'm a big fan of landing pages having videos on the page. What that does for your website is it helps Google recognize that people are staying on this website a little bit longer. So it lets Google know that it found a good match. It matched a person with the content that they were looking for, because they're spending time on your website, and they're measuring that by something that's called a bounce rate within the Google Analytics backend. But if your bounce rate is good, if people aren't showing up to your website and then immediately clicking off like it was a mistake, that's a bad sign to Google. Google's going to say, oh, this is a bad website, or this is a not trustworthy website, or a bad match for this particular audience, and then it can tank your rankings and make you go all the way down if people are just bouncing off. So video is a really good sticky way for you to keep people on your website for a little bit longer. So types of the types of videos that go on your website and what you should be talking about on your website is, again, something that you can find in our free business video guideline. So go and download that in the link in the description in the show notes. Let's see here. Organic reach. Let's talk a little bit about organic reach. This is a pretty big one. There are a few platforms right now that are over-indexing in organic reach.
Yes.
Or I guess better to say there's one platform and features of other platforms that are reaching because of this platform. And if you guys haven't figured it out by now, that would be TikTok, which is growing like crazy right now. TikTok is one of the craziest, attention arbitrages out right now. It is. You can put almost anything out and it can get in front of hundreds of thousands of people like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking the most million views by just average Joes.
Period. Period. Yeah. It is a crazy arbitrage. So if you need eyeballs, if this thing that we as marketers call top of funnel awareness, just people to know about your brand and for your brand to be out there and maybe pull some people into your ecosystem, then TikTok is something that you definitely should be doing. And so now that I say that out loud, doesn't matter what you're doing, you should probably be doing TikTok. Doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter if you sell beer and liquor. Like, a lot of people think TikTok is just 12-year-old girls. It hasn't been 12-year-old girls for a long time now. So actually right now the largest growing segment on TikTok is 30 to 50-year-olds. So it's us. So hop on TikTok. It's still growing. It's still crazy. I don't see it being this, like, having this level of virality past another 12 or 13 months at the most, if that.
Yeah, something else will come through.
Something else will come through, or they'll figure it out, or the ads are going to come in, which we'll talk about. Ads always kind of kill the platform a little bit, but as of right now, you should be making TikToks like nobody's business. And if you do them in a way where you are targeting the audience that's, you're targeting people that you want to help and that you want to serve, then and you build an audience around those people, then that will be an actual useful asset for your business until this TikTok thing is no longer around for us. And if you capitalize in the right way, you'll be able to pull that audience off of TikTok into a platform that you own as a business, which is the key to all of this. The key to the main, one of the big secret to all of this marketing and all this social media marketing is taking advantage of that free organic reach where you can and pulling them into your own funnels and your own ecosystem in your own world. That's why you would do something like that. You're not just out here trying to go viral just so you can be famous and go viral. That does nothing for you. You need to be doing this on purpose. You need to be say yes, you are a whatever you are, and you have a video go viral tomorrow. It doesn't just translate to your business doing millions of dollars the next day. Maybe you get a sponsorship deal, then cool, yeah, that's awesome. If you wanted to go that route and be an influencer, then yeah, by all means, do all the dances and do all the trends and whatnot. And
even then, you got to have some kind of fallback plan. I guarantee you, there's not an influencer out there that any one of you might look up to or want to be like, and doesn't have a wine business or own property or
exactly. They have some way to funnel this traffic into money.
All of what they're doing there to get you is to funnel that.
Yep.
Back to those things. That's the main goal. Whether it's said or stated or not, that's the end result. That's where you need to be.
Yeah, a lot of people they don't understand what brand is. Like this thing that you're creating, you got to create something that people want. Like it's free. You're not giving your business away. You don't have to give away your industry secrets or whatever you want to hold close to you. But you do have to provide value to people who would be the people that do business with you. So for a what do you call an example of business? I forget the term for it. But what have you? But for an example, a lot of people don't know that the rating on hotels, those the Michelin rating,
the Michelin star ratings,
Michelin star ratings, those are actually from the Michelin tire company.
Yeah, it blows my mind when people don't know that.
Yeah, those are actually from the Michelin tire company. They started rating these restaurants and places for people to go because they needed people to travel a little bit more and buy more tires. Mm-hmm. That's what that was about. They were creating the content so much to the point where the content's so big that these restaurants will do anything to have Michelin tires rate them 5 stars.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like a direct correlation, but that's a good example of that. It doesn't have to be something straight across, but you do have to bring value to people who are going to be using your service or buying your product. I like that. I kind of just remembered that off the top of my head that was a good actual analogy. I like that. I didn't come up with that, but I like that. I remember that anecdote. I'm useful sometimes.
It's a good anecdote. Like, it blows my mind when people don't know that the Michelin star rating came from the Michelin tire company because it helps.
Yeah, but that's how you should try to approach
so.
making your content. You should try to approach it from a place of whatever you can do to bring value to the people that are going to do business with you, short of giving away your business.
Do it.
Do that. That's what you put out. Those are the things that you put out. Yes, you film yourself doing everything, but anything that you can put out that's useful to the same people that are going to buy it from you. You have to think about bringing them value. It has to be about the customer. Otherwise, there's no reason for them to stick around.
You be a customer.
Exactly.
In the first place, if you don't give somebody value, then you ain't going to go to the store and buy air.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
But yeah, so if you're taking advantage, if you're bringing value and you're taking advantage of the places where there's free organic reach, then you will do really, really, really well. I promise you. If you spend some time learning how to communicate and how to act on these platforms, and really all you have to do is sit there and scroll through these apps and just kind of see what's going on. Watch these videos, notice the trends, see how the language is, see what type of, how they're editing the videos, and all that information as you are absorbing it is going to be useful when you go to create your content, even though you're not going to be shaking your ass or doing whatever the latest trend is. You really can just get on and give your advice. You really can just get on and say, hey, this is what I think about this. Or you really can just react to someone else who's talking about something in your industry. You can do those type of things, and those can all work for you, and they can work for your business as long as you remember to think about your end user when you do that, and you're constantly trying to have efforts to pull them into your funnel. But yeah, other platforms that are over-indexing because of TikTok's large attention graph right now.
Would the list be easier if we went with the ones that didn't do that?
Right? Yeah. Everybody is now has a story feature that they want you to pretty much try to go viral on that looks a lot like a TikTok. So when you pay attention to things like that, as these platforms are competing against each other and they're releasing these new features and things like that, they want these new features to do well. So they have a tendency to give you more reach on those new features. So anytime there's a new feature, or someone copies a feature from a different website or from a different platform, then that's a good indicator that that's an activity that you should probably be participating in on that platform. As you can see, right after TikTok came out, then we had the IG Reels, and we got YouTube Shorts, and both of these arbitrages over-index greatly in attention for very little effort, which is crazy. Because we've both had a couple of viral videos on YouTube Shorts, IG Reels, and it's crazy that, especially coming from people who we buy ads. I buy ads. I pay for views. We know what CPMs cost. So to be able to get in front of thousands of people, sometimes tens and hundreds of thousands of people for free, you have to take advantage of that. Like, why would you miss out on that opportunity? You have to take advantage of that. There's no point
free money.
Not to. It's free. Yeah, free money. Yeah, of course, it's not as free as you want it to be, but you're gonna have to sell them something. But it's free money.
Like in the eventual goal, by the time that the funnel and everything gets down to the end,
it's a cakewalk. It's cakewalk. It's money in the bank. There's no reason not to be doing it. There's no reason not to do it at all. Especially if you. What's the alternative? You wait around until the end of your life and realize that you had the opportunity to start a business, or you could have at least tried to make content around something that you loved or something that you would have loved to be doing, and maybe you could have built a big enough audience to do that for a living, as opposed to working for someone else. Not that working for someone else is bad. Everyone has what works for them. But if you're the type of person who thinks you can be an entrepreneur, who might want to do something on the side, or maybe you might just want to make a little extra cash. Maybe you don't want to be Elon Musk or be a multi-millionaire, but you just want to be able to make a decent living and live on your own terms. And I think nowadays the internet brings us that opportunity where it's reachable for a lot more people than it used to be. I don't think being an entrepreneur is for everybody, but I do think it's reachable by a lot more people than it used to be. I just think if you take advantage of what's offered right now, then you could have a really, really, really bright future doing something that you really care about, or talking about something that you really love, or just focusing on what it is that you want to be doing. But whatever it is, you're definitely going to need to be participating where everyone's attention is in order to do it. And right now, that's online, namely these 3-4 platforms that we mentioned today. Another good platform that over-indexes on attention is LinkedIn for B2B. So if you're in the B2B space, create a lot of LinkedIn content. The paid ads are really expensive on LinkedIn, from my experience.
That's all business there.
Yeah, it's all business there. So yeah, they justified the cost on the LinkedIn.
It's insane.
But
it's a little gouging.
Hey, you get to pop into workers of companies that you're trying to do business with if you're in B2B, and that's we deal with big numbers.
Bigger, like Fortune 500, the biggest companies you can think of are.
And you can literally go to LinkedIn and target everyone who works here, so it's Pretty cool. So I mean, you obviously have to put something in front of them that they like. That you have to be good. That there's no way around that. You have to be good at it. So everything has a skill, some type of skill base to it. You know, you're not just gonna walk on and start creating content, and just because you started creating content that everything's gonna go well. You do have to actually try. There's other people out here trying. Some people do make it or do good things without trying, but
some people are gifted at baseball too.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Some people are born 7 feet tall. That's
Exactly.
It's just how it works.
Some people are born skinny, and
Right.
some people are born fat.
Just how it works. Take what you got, you know,
And run with it.
and run with it. Run with it. But yeah, the free organic reach is something that everyone can take advantage of.
It's the running river of sustenance.
Yes. And so within that, now these things are free. Yeah, people, like, we have clients that complain all the time, oh, the algorithm's fucking me, bro. The algorithm's messing over me. And I'm like, yeah, bro, the shit's free, bro. The shit, you don't pay anything for it whatsoever.
Yeah, when you're not running like
Yeah, you're not giving them any
targeted
money.
ad stuff or anything like that.
You can't really expect anything. You know, they can't.
The algorithm is gonna fuck with you because it's testing out to see what you
It's doing
have.
what the hell it wants to do. They don't give a shit about the algorithm. They care about you.
Yeah, it's trying to get the next trend and how many eyeballs can I hold on to this.
Exactly. Which is why you gotta help people so that people are looking for you. It's you. It is you. If that freaking not Google Voice, what's the thing named that's at my house that's always yelling at me and listening to me? Alexa. Alexa. Just like that. If someone is saying, hey, Alexa, I want to order a sandwich, and you own a restaurant near the person who says, Alexa, I wanted a sandwich, if that becomes a trend and everyone starts doing that and they just say, Alexa, I want a sandwich, and Alexa starts sending sandwiches, guess what? That customer's getting an Amazon basic sandwich. They're not gonna they're not gonna get your sandwich. You know, that's just how it's gonna be. So you want them to say, hey, I want a Lisa Bonet sandwich or whatever your name is. I want a Mike's sub or whatever. You need to people need to know you by name. And you do that by building brand and making connections and building reputation so that people are looking for you. But with organic reach out of the way, everyone can do organic reach. It's free, so go participate, go do it, take some chances, be good at it, and take advantage of that. On top of that, all of the paid ads are underpriced. For the most part, all of them. To say that even on LinkedIn, as I just said, that they're really expensive, still underpriced. Considering that you can get in front of Fortune 500 CEOs or Fortune 100 CMOs, owners of all kinds of businesses, facility directors, and you can, pay to get in front of them and pay to send messages to them. That's invaluable. People used to sleep outside of people's offices in order to get in contact with important people for weeks. This is that still happens. Actually, that actually still freaking happens. So the fact that you can pay and it's not tens of thousands of dollars minimum to do it is something to think about. It should let you know that it's probably still worth it. So if you have a budget to spend on marketing and you don't have a solid online marketing plan for that budget, then you are doing your business a huge disservice. And I would recommend that you take some time out of your day and do some of the homework on with what's going on with these platforms and how people are doing business on these platforms, and find out how you can take advantage of some of what I think is probably one of the biggest times for new business in our history, which sounds bold to say, but I don't think there's any other way to say it.
Truth is truth.
Yeah, truth is truth. So, but speaking of that and paid ads, I wanted to talk a little bit about TikTok's ad platform, which I just started to introduce myself to, and for the most part, it's Facebook. I'm pretty sure they hired a bunch of people from Facebook that work over there now. That's how I imagine all the tech companies operate. When one's successful and people leave a company, they just, hey, you used to work here, come here and do this for us. And And so it looks a lot like Facebook's ad platform, especially with the setup of like the targeting breakdowns and like the types of ads, like lead ads and stuff like that. So it's very, very similar. There's one thing that I thought was extremely interesting though. Within the TikTok ad platform, you can create these things that are called Spark ads. And if I remember correctly, if I'm saying this correctly, you can sponsor or boost posts like you can on Facebook. But you can boost content from by other people that was uploaded by other people. So going back to our restaurant analogy, say you own a restaurant near town and people are in your restaurant having a good time and having fun, creating TikToks, and they're mentioning your restaurant. There's software that you can use to go and find those instances, and you can boost those content creators' posts, and further your brand that way for an even larger top of funnel awareness, which is really freaking cool. That's
insane.
Really cool. I think that's dope for places around here. Like, I'm gonna give some shout outs anyway. I'm gonna say some names actually, like the Tracks next door, all these local gyms, there's Quality Fitness over there next door. Like all of these places, like if people go there and they have good times and there's always videos. And I think I saw my homie Demetrius. Shout out to Demetrius. I thought I saw him on his story at the Tracks earlier this week, and I was like, oh yeah, that's something like they would thrive off of. They could revamp their entire business. I don't think they're hurting over there. I'm pretty sure they're doing good. They've been there forever.
The Tracks.
So they're the Tracks. But I'm just saying, I think they would make that place a tourist stop. It'd be a tourist stop if they were to imagine one of those TikToks you sponsor ends up and you end up finding a talented creator who made some TikTok at your place. That TikTok was already doing well, and then you decide to boost it and give it even further push. It's going to do well because it already organically did well. It means it'll probably scale well as well, and that could do really well for business. I can see that working out really well for a lot of businesses. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, it goes back to the word of mouth thing. This is the new word of mouth.
Yep.
Word of mouth has always been the most powerful. If you don't have yourself and your mouth out there on all the platforms, visibly, audibly, in any format for people to grab and get, you don't exist. So make sure you get that.
Agreed. Super powerful what TikTok is doing. I am excited to go and experiment with TikTok. I definitely need to be creating more TikToks. Everybody needs to be creating more TikToks. Let that be the takeaway. Get out of here and go make a TikTok. That's really what you should be doing. Make a TikTok. I need to go and put out some TikToks across all of my channels. I've been experimenting with some. I had a TikTok that I made one just to see if I can go viral on the first post. I did, because I'm a genius. And but I also I guess broke some policy stuff, so they took the video down. But I'll try to put a screenshot up of the proof that I did do the whole viral thing with one video, because I'm good like that.
Right.
But yeah.
Shot.
But I hope you guys got some value out of this podcast. Try to do this as often as possible. We haven't tied down an exact frequency yet, but we have decided that done is better than perfect in this instance. So we're gonna try to start living by my living what I preach, and practicing what I preach. I'm messing up all my terms today. I promise.
It's hot as shit in here.
It's
I
hot
swear
as
to
hell.
God. I know I probably look like I'm trying not to melt inside of myself right now.
Yeah,
I don't
we're in
think
a
you guys
tin can in
understand.
the studio as well too. So,
It's so hot.
and the sun has finally gone down. It's just a bit cooler.
Just a bit.
Just
I
a
can
bit
feel the cooler coming from the floor level. Let's put it that way. I can feel the shift in heat from the ground to where my hand is.
Mm-hmm. But if you are still here, we love you so much. Do yourself a favor and go get the free business video podcast. It's 10 videos that you need to be creating for your business right now to be able to have these digital assets exist for you online. You need to have these digital assets. They're free to create, unless you want to take the extra step and have a professional do it for you. Then that costs a little bit of money, but could be worth it in the end. Obviously, higher conversion rates, things that we contribute to, and we'd love to help you out. But if you want to create it yourself, go ahead. We have a whole guide for you to follow, and 10 videos that you need to be creating so that you can always go back to it when you need something else to create. We should be creating content nonstop. That's what we are now. Media companies. We are who we are / media. It's because it's what we have to do, and it's how business is ran now. So if you want to be doing business, this is what you are doing. But I hope that rubs off on you guys. We will catch y'all next time. I appreciate you guys for being here. Take it easy.
Peace.